Your bank statement is hiding something from you. Not a fee, not a charge. A number that over 10 years quietly erases about a third of what your money can actually buy. Most people never notice it because the number on their screen keeps going up. Every finance channel has already told you the obvious half of this story. Stop saving. Start investing. You've heard it 1,000 times. It's not wrong, but it's also not the full picture. And that missing half is exactly why so many people who follow that advice still feel like they're falling behind. Today, we're not picking a side. We're showing you the one rule almost nobody explains correctly. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how much of your money should sit still and how much should never stop moving. Let's start with the number your bank statement is hiding. A high-yield savings account today pays around 4 to 5% a year. Sounds decent, but inflation has also been running around 3 to 4%. Do the math. Over 20 years, $1 invested in the S&P 500 historically became about $6. That same dollar sitting in a savings account, maybe $1.80. And after inflation, its real purchasing power is closer to 85 cents, even though the number on your screen kept climbing every month. You didn't lose money. You lost purchasing power. And purchasing power is the only number that was ever real. Now compare that to money invested in a broad market index. Historically, over almost any 20-year period, that same dollar didn't just preserve its value. It multiplied. This is the part every creator stops at. See? Investing wins. Stop saving. Video over. Like button. Subscribe. Except that advice has quietly wrecked people too. Meet the version of this story nobody puts in the thumbnail. Someone takes the just invest everything advice literally. No cash buffer. Every spare dollar goes into the market. Then life does what life does. A layoff, a medical bill, a car that dies at the worst possible time. Now they're forced to sell investments, not on their timeline, on the market's timeline. And if that timeline happens to land during a downturn, which statistically it eventually will for almost everyone who lives long enough, they don't just lose the gain. They lock in the loss permanently at the exact moment they could least afford it. One bad timed forced sale can erase years of compounding in a single transaction. This is why saving is dumb. Just invest is only half true. Full exposure to the market with zero buffer isn't discipline. It's a bet that nothing bad happens to you before your investments recover. And that's not a strategy. That's hoping. So if pure saving is a slow leak and pure investing is a loaded gun, where's the actual line? It's simpler than either extreme wants you to believe. There are two questions, and only two, that decide which bucket a dollar belongs in. Question 1. Could you need this money in the next 3 to 6 months? If yes, job instability, a known upcoming expense, a thin financial cushion. That dollar belongs in cash, not because saving builds wealth, because that dollar's job isn't growth. Its job is making sure you're never forced into a bad decision. Question 2. Is this money you will not touch for years? If yes, holding it in cash isn't safety anymore. It's a guaranteed, slow loss to inflation, dressed up as caution. That's the entire framework, not saving versus investing. Just, does this specific dollar need to protect you, or does it need to grow for you? Every dollar you own is answering one of those two questions right now, whether you've thought about it or not. Meet Sarah and Mike, both 30 years old, both earning $65,000 a year, both saving $500 a month every month for 15 years. Sarah keeps everything in her 4% savings account. Mike builds a 6-month emergency fund first, then puts every extra dollar into a simple S&P 500 index fund. Same discipline, same income, same number of dollars saved. After 15 years, Sarah has about $125,000. Adjusted for inflation, she's basically where she started. Mike has roughly $210,000, and his money is now earning more each year than he's even depositing. Same person, same paycheck, same effort. The only difference was what happened to the dollar after it hit their account. That gap isn't luck. It isn't a better job. It's one decision, repeated every month. So here's the only homework this video is going to give you. Tonight, open your accounts. Add up everything sitting in cash. Ask the two questions on every dollar. Protect or grow. If you've got more than 6 months of expenses sitting idle, doing nothing, you already know which direction that excess needs to move. The people who build real wealth were never smarter than everyone else. They just stopped asking saving or investing and started asking what each individual dollar actually needed to do. Where world events meet your money. Subscribe for more.